So in Shiatsu, there's something called the 5 principles. These are the 5 guiding principles to be used while doing a compression. And the first of the 5 principles, perhaps one of the best, is to relax. It's what I just did by showing you devotion and relaxing within myself, but it means more than that as well. It's the spirit of play. And then there's a concept by which is typically demonstrated with a scale, with the spring scale that I don't have here, and I apologize, I just have to go through a mind experiment. If I'm tense and I lean into a person, observe how much of my weight goes to the table. Now watch as I relax. Oh. Did you see that weight transfer? Now this is actually easier for me because not only am I transferring more weight, but I don't have to do the grip. Mm-hmm. So the first rule of relaxation is not just relaxing within yourself and being in the spirit of play, but to relax the body. Because in Shiatsu, our delivering of weight comes through weight transfer. The weight transfer comes from my body, from a relaxed place, and I can only get as much pressure as I have weight. And these rules I'm going to give you are going to maximize your ability to weight transfer. And one of the most important and playful is the difference between being tense and relaxed. And you can observe through that. And you can do this with the scale. If you lean on a scale tense and you lean on a scale relaxed, it'll show a different amount of weight pressure being transferred to that surface. Mm. So that's the first rule, and it's a great rule, and you guys are all going to break it a whole bunch of times. As I do as well. Once one is relaxed, you can now go to the second rule of perpendicular pressure. And we'll go with perpendicular contact. I don't want to talk about pressure yet. We'll talk about pressure and a few more rules or principles. So the thing with perpendicular contact, if my pressure or the weight transfer in Shiatsu is delivered through relaxed body weight, observe how much of my weight is going into the table. And actually what I usually do in this case is do this as an experiment. Do it yourself. Put pressure on the table from an angle, and then go perpendicular and see how much more of your weight transfers through your hands. It's significant, all right? That's a significant. So you can see how perpendicular is the max. There's a mistake that can be done here that I want to educate you in now because everybody's pretty much done it, is if we go forward of your wrists. Because of these principles I'm going to teach you, there's so much power coming through. You can blow stuff up. You can blow up your fingers, your wrists, your shoulders. You can blow yourself up. You got to use the right tool for the right job and the right tool in the right way. Don't go past your tool. And if you go too far past your wrist, you'll hurt your wrist. We'll talk about that as well when we're done with the 5 principles. I have to show you the toolbox by which we apply the 5 principles. First, the 5 principles. Relax with perpendicular contact, and that allows the maximization of weight to be transferred. The next one is, I never know which way to do this first. I'm going to go this way. Press, don't push. So this is the same concept basically of those, is we're using relaxed body weight, we're not using muscular engagement. As you drop in, press with your body, don't push. So this is just, it's a pressing method. It's a relaxed pressing method. It's not a push. The next principle is very well exercised, and this is the two-handed connectivity. Two-handed connection. All right, there is so much to this principle. Two-handed connection is where we bring in the concept of mother hand that I was introducing to you before. There's, in Shiatsu, only 2 points of contact to the human body at any given time. No third point of contact. 2, and that's it. You align your energy to the universe from heaven to earth, elongate your spine, switch on your center for the sense of devotion and love and service to your community. As you open up, bring that energy down in an arc from your center into 2 hands that you then drop onto a meridian to pump the energy. So there's only 2 points of connection to create the polarity and the energetic connectivity to move the energy just by this. Whoa. Cool. You know? As soon as you get a 3rd point in there, all sorts of slurp and transmission and unaware energetic transfer. From here, I got it in front of me. I got it clean. I've got 2 poles. I know what they're doing. The chance of energetic slurpiness and transference, but as soon as you got a 3rd, there's all sorts of potential for funkiness. Now, admittingly, there are times I might use a 3rd channel. A 3rd point of contact. If I got somebody locked in and I've got them to a stretch and they're right about, God, if I could just, you know, that's not orthodox. It's not orthodox, all right? And that is slurping. It's using a 3rd point slurp to achieve a goal. You know, it's just exercising that 3rd, which it's kind of gray zone. Actually, it's not gray zone. It's black. You're not supposed to do it according to traditional principles. And there's a reason there are those traditional principles. The 2-handed connectivity is a very brain thing. Stick to it in the beginning and forever. Monkeys. All right. Notice my hand positioning? See what I'm doing to create polarity? Which one's yin? Which one's yang?
Yin.
Receptive, projective.
Yeah.
So of the 2-handed connectedness, both the hands are in polarity. And the mother hand is the one in the yin. The child hand is the one in the yang. The yang is the one that you're going to see doing most of the stuff. Almost all of the work is in the mother. The mother is there listening to the meridian, providing stabilization to the recipient's spine so as the compressions come through, you don't tweak their back. It's listening to the tissue to the point that when you touch the tissue too hard, if the person flinches, you can feel them flinch and retract from your touch before it gets up to their brain. If you're really listening enough, there should never be a, ah, fuck, ooh, ah. You know, you should be playing that. Now, that's not to say while playing that you can't do that. Because you want them to react, to get the charge to come out of their body so they can take the breath and release that part of their being. So, 2-handed connectivity allows that. One hand is still and not moving, one hand is moving. They can change.
Okay. So the mother's
Always there.
holding space for the child to do the work?
Yep. How is it holding space? It's first off touching the body to the degree that the person trusts your touch and knows that you're there as a benevolent being. Oh, yeah, right here with you, I'm listening. You know, and then it listens actively as you drop in to see if they flinch. Now, there's something that it's doing that's so much bigger that I'm withholding from you. And I have a wonderful demonstration to do this. This is why I wasn't sure how much I would teach. Bring your foot up in front like this. Put your thumb that's closer to your foot on the Achilles heel, on the Achilles tendon. Put your thumb on the other hand. With your left hand, there you go, on the Achilles tendon. And then go up between the 2 heads of the gastroc. and push in. And what happens to your thumb? The left thumb as you drop in with your right. You feel it bob up and down?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Now go up as far as you can under the gastrocnemius. How far can you go up and still get a bounce back in your thumb? Technically speaking, you could do it all the way to
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you can feel it like.
Okay, so, the cat's out of the bag. The mother hand is what you just did. You're a good mom. You went right into mother awareness. I wish I didn't call you on it so everybody could have observed it, but you were right there. Mother awareness is that awareness when all of a sudden you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. It's like that stealth.
It's listening between walls. You know, I used to use different examples to describe this energy, but I like that one because it's so much simpler, you know, just that. Yeah, so that there you go, bingo. So now the thing is right at the instant that you hit that feedback is when you're in the sweetest part of the channel. And that's the moment by which you can listen in to feel the water vibration in the channel. Water vibration in the channel? What? So I'm going to have to define all of that. Listen to it through your water body, feel it through your emotional body, and interpret it through your psychological body. Find the thought form, reverse the thought form, embody the thought form, project the embodied thought form into the meridian right at the point of percussion to cancel out the wave that they're already holding.
Okay.
That's the art of Zen Shiatsu. This class is not going to that level. You need to know the meridians first. Who cares if you know this mumbo jumbo? I mean, that being said, there's all sorts of methods that you can do this from across time space to another part of the world, to a place of time history, or to people on the other side of the veil, and disembodied spirits. And there's all sorts of stuff around these realms of people doing this. But this is how to do it through body work in Shiatsu. So that moment, right when you get the feedback, that's the moment. Right? That's when you're right in the center of the channel, and where you can listen the most and tune the most.
But can't you, instead of like when touching, like even, I can still feel a feedback when I'm not touching the channel. So
You can, well, these
it's obviously not as
channels.
strong.
What are you talking about? Like,
So like if I'm just walking up here and I can move over here, I can still feel.
but it's not as strong.
It's not as strong.
Exactly.
No.
We're
So it's
going
just
for the
like,
center of the channel.
yeah.
Yeah, the channels, they're broad, they're not a line like it shows on the maps. It's not a line.
Okay.
What's the statistic? There's a statistician term, median and mean, and one's the middle number, or the average number. You know, one, there's an actual number that lies there, and one is just the average. The median is the middle number regardless of its value, and the average is the average of them all, but there may never be a number at the average. The line is the average. The meridian might not be there.
Whoa. Yep.
It's just where they tend to be the most often.
Yes.
And get this, they can move. What do you mean? I don't have that. See how much meridian movement? And sometimes them darn yogis that are so good at, you know, they're actively practicing moving the meridians out of the way to articulate the skeletal structure. And man, I can chase something down and they'll just Sometimes I go to that level, sometimes I don't. You might not believe it, but 9 times out of 10 I let them get away with it. Kindness and compassion, what's the hurry?
Until I have to smack you on the head.
Exactly.
Yeah, none of us be smacked upon the head.
Until we ask the abbot.
Yes, yeah, totally, okay. Good, good. I shouldn't fear that too, because that's part of the
There's not
system.
inside in, yeah.
The last of the 5 principles is meridian continuity. This is the one with the story that I told you about the man that I did one shoulder, but I didn't do the other. If you
The
touch a
man.
meridian, you gotta do both sides, and you gotta do the whole thing. You don't just get to squeeze the toothpaste in one spot. Now that being said, medically speaking, this is an interesting concept, because I certainly have experienced in my work, and I believe a lot of people have experienced in their body, the tendency for an injury to move from one place to another as it works itself out of the body. And this is based upon that principle. I'll squeeze the low back out the hip, down the leg, out the ankle for a gallbladdery person who's really freaked out and dry. And it's like, I can help my hip. Yeah. You can get them to go from there to there. But sometimes the charge will get down to the knee and look at knee pain. And you got to work up the knee pain to the ankle out the foot. Theoretically, you should be doing this in such a way that you're aware of the energy enough that you can feel it getting stuck and move through that stuckness and get it all the way down. You should be able to get it all the way to here. And that's your job as a practitioner, to squeeze that gel back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Is there a way that you do that? Do you always start at the top, or can
So,
you, is it?
thank you. The general in this particular traditional lineage is to go from the organs out. So the organs here, you know, honestly, the truth is I usually take bladder, kidney from here all the way down, and anything from here I take up. It's usually from the middle out, but technically it should be from the organ out.